welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to make a candles with dried flowers. I am so excited for today's video. I'm a big Pinterest user. I have a lot of pins, the candles with dried flowers, lavenders, and some spices. I thought those are so pretty. A lot of candles that I like, it's usually about $10. I'm a cheap person. I don't want to spend that kind of money. At the thrift store, 99% of the time you can always find candles. So I thought it's interesting, instead of making from scratch, today I'm trying to hack it. I don't have a much plan, but I'm just gonna dive into it and trying to figure it out as I go. And hopefully you guys will enjoy this.
First, I got a bunch of different kind of candles from thrift store.
2, 3, 4.
Next, you need containers or candle molds of your choice. Just make sure that whatever you pick is heat resistant. I got this rosy gold glass jar from thrift store for only $1. I was so happy when I found it because I'm huge fan of Anthropologie. The shape reminds me of honeycomb candle from Anthropologie, and rosy gold are super trend right now. Their candles are so cute, but it can be so expensive. And cheapest one I found was $14, and most expensive candle I found was $250. I was so happy that I was able to find similar design for only $1. Next container I have is simple empty glass jar. You can always find these at thrift store, or you can use the one that you already have at home. I found this adorable Coffe Tin Can with copper red at thrift store, but since number 4 is missing, so I decided to use number 5 for candle making. I also found this cute candle folder that reminds me of Aladin in India. I'm very obsessed with these patterns. I also wanted to make a pillar candle, so I decided to make a DIY candle molds with toilet paper. I honestly don't recommend this method because it took me 3 times to get it right, but I thought I'll show it to you guys anyway. Next thing you need is dried flowers. I made this by myself by just hanging on the wall with tape, but it takes a month, so if you don't want to do it, you can also find dried flowers from thrift store like I did. I was lucky, but if you couldn't find it, you can also go to local craft shops. Next thing you need is candle pouring pitcher, but I didn't have it, so I just used the old pan that we had, but I struggled transferring wax to the candle mold, so I ended up throwing up spoon and the towel and the container, so I don't recommend this, but yeah, that's what I did. Next, you need candle wicks. You can just buy it to save your time, but I made my own, and I'll show you how later in the video. Next, you need wick center. You can just use sticks or clips that you already have at home, and it worked perfectly fine for me. Last but not least, thermometer. I didn't have this, that's why I ended up having this huge hole in the middle of candle. If you can afford it, just buy it, or wait until wax liquid is a little bit cool before you pour it into the container.
First step, I'm thinking I'm gonna melt down all the candles in here, the pans that we have not been using anymore, so that we don't have to reuse it for safety. Hopefully candle will melt. Mix the white and all the colorful ones all at once.
While waiting for candle to be melt, I was prepping for dried flowers. I love this rose dried flower that I made, but it was a little bit too big, so I was taking off petals from the flower to make it a little bit small so it will fit in the container. And I just transfer other dried flower that I got from thrift store to the container so it's easier to work with. And how cute is this? I'm obsessed. After candles are completely melted, take out wicks from the wax liquid and measure the cotton string right next to the container. And before you cut it, make sure that you will leave a couple inches longer so it will be easier to work with. And I took the cotton string and put it inside of the wick where there's like a small tiny hole. That's it. This is how I made cotton wick. Here's the fun part. We're gonna start putting everything together. First, you're gonna put a cotton wick in the middle container and trying to fix it, keep it in the middle by using sticks or clips or whatever you have. And now you can start adding dried flowers. You can definitely experiment with this, but I just go ahead and put all the flour I had because I really like the color, how everything looks together. So it's all up to your preference. There's no right or wrong, so have fun with it. It's looking very pretty. Finally, we're ready to pour the candle mixture to the container. Easiest and safest way to do it is to use candle pitcher. I didn't have it, so I just used glass container with towel to pour it. Candle mixture is pretty hot, so I want you guys to make sure to do it safe way. And one more thing that I learned as I do it is that cooler the candle mixture is, smoother and prettier the top of the candle will be. If you don't have a thermometer, make sure to let the mixture a little bit cool down so that you will get a best result. After your first candle is done, it'll be so much easier. You will just repeat the same process again. But this time, I did not put any dried flower in this container because these are not see-through. You cannot see it from side. So I'll just keep it simple. That's it. I'm just gonna let them sit overnight. Last minute, I decided to add dried flower on the top of my Anthropologie inspired candle because I felt like something was missing, but I think it was too late because I ended up making huge cracks on the surface. But I don't mind it anymore because it turned out so cute. Now it's time to make a pillar candles. As I say in the beginning, this is my third time trying it. My first two attempts turned out pretty terrible, but I'll still show it to you guys, those of who want to learn how to do it. First, you're gonna put foil on the top of tray as a base. Next, you're gonna cut cardboard as a shape of square, but it doesn't have to be perfect because this is just for base. And all you need to do is attach this toilet paper roll and cardboard together, but this is where I made mistake. I tried to attach them together by using hot glue, but as you know, hot glue can be melted once it's heated. So as soon as I poured the candle mixture, glue started to melt down and just candle mixture started to come out from the bottom. But somehow two of them survived, so I'm pretty happy about it. But if you want to do it right, just use the glue that it's heat resistant. So pretty! Oh my gosh! It was very easy to come off. First, I thought I need to put foil or parchment paper because I thought it's gonna stick, but it came out really, really well without it. Or if you guys have any better idea to how to make a pillar candle mold, I would love to know, so leave the comments in below. Next day, I found huge hole in the middle of my candle, and after googling, I found out that it's due to the temperature. That a lot of candle maker actually use thermometer, but you're supposed to cool down the wax before you pour it in to get the flat and pretty surface on the top. So I tried to fix it by using hair dryer, and it was starting to melt on the top, but after that it started splashing everywhere and ended up splashing on my floor, wall, on my face. So I just gave up. It's okay, it's still candle, I can still use it.
Thank you for stopping by, and I know that life can get busy, but it's so worth it to do something that makes your heart spark. Making videos and doing DIY make me so happy. Life can get crazy, but I hope I can keep continue doing it. And I know you're so busy too, but thank you for spending time with me. I appreciate it so much. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!